Hello, it's John Donnelly again. Right. Take that conventional CV and burn it. Why? Well, any job where there's a lot of applicants coming in, i.e. something that's worth going after, most of them are going to end up in the shredder. And because they're getting so many incoming applications and CVs, they're going to put, because it's so important that the first run through, where we cull through to get the good stuff, must be in the hands of the best qualified person in the company. That person will be the office junior. Their qualifications for this are: 1, they're cheap; 2, they're cheap; 3, you give them a list of criteria, they will slavishly follow it; 4, they won't get bored because they'll have an iPod in their things and chew gum. Now, let's look at the list of criteria. There's going to be huge omissions on it. At the very least, it's not going to cover any of the soft stuff. And we're told always that if someone's being recruited, you should be recruited on attitude almost as much or more than aptitude and qualifications. Well, look at it this way. If this is the list being culled by the office junior, only the survivors will even be considered on their attitude. They've probably gone in the bin. Burn it. We've got to burn it. So let's look at the alternatives. Now, I'm going to do some special videos for recruitment companies, but this is where a lot of the material that I'm suggesting to you all came from. Where I was working for this recruitment company, they were superb. They were doing a fantastic job. Loads of business, lots of referrals, never lost a client. But when they tried to go into the very large organisations, which they deserved to do, they just couldn't get in. The fix was already in. So that's why I was talking to them. And what you want to understand if you're going to go to work for a company or supply them is what do the top people want to really achieve. So they wanted to get 15 minutes with their chief executive. Any applicant really should want to get 15 minutes with their chief executive. Now, in a video that's to come downstream, it's called Tossing a Thunder Flash Through the Door, I've got some techniques for getting you through the door to the chief executive. But you can do a large part of that by getting the annual report. Not because of the figures, Polly Peck and Philip Green, etc., but for what the key people in the organisation say about what they want to do in the next 12 months and how the last 12 months have gone, what they need to correct. You're ahead of the curve already. When you do get to see the key people, if that's part of what you're doing here, you need to ask much, much better questions. And I'm doing a video on this as well. So you won't ask a question like, if you were a recruitment company, are you happy with your existing provider? Do you really expect them to answer? Do you know, I'm not actually, John. We're really pissed off. I can't understand why I've been so stupid as to have paid their 27% for the last 3 years. And I was just waiting for you to come in, whiz your bike clips off, and we'll do business. No, but try this. If time, money and resources were no object, what would you really want? Now, as a result of setting that up with the chief executives, and I actually went along on a couple, we came up with an offer that this recruitment company did, which was this. We sent the best 3 only, along with a lot of comments on it and suggested questions for the company to ask when they saw the applicant. And at my suggestion, we put in a wild card, someone that did not meet the aptitude criteria. And out of the first 12 appointments that were made using this scheme, 4 of the appointments went to the wildcards. Yeah? So now back to what is this Pucker marketing document? How do we get this wildcard across? Bang. Oh no. Oh, well, I'll tidy that up and we'll do so. Now, before you start tidying it up, before you start turning it back into a dollop of text, I want you to understand what's on this and why, and then you can massacre it. So first of all, you want to stand out for the right reasons. Right at the top there, It's called the smiling CV because the photograph of you is smiling, and right next to it are your values. Now, subliminally, we've proven that this means at some level they think they know you. Wow, that's not a bad start, is it, in the first quarter or third of the page? Now, the values must be good ones, and they must be yours. Don't copy them down. You know all those pictures up on the wall, the inspirational things, you know, there's no I in team and stuff. Nothing like that. It's got to be yours. Just one great one is behind the desk of one of my best mates and a client. And it's got a picture of a great big grizzly bear sitting at the side of a waterfall. And these salmon are leaping up the waterfall. And this huge great paw has just whizzed one of the salmon out of the waterfall. And underneath it said, the journey of 1,000 miles sometimes ends extremely badly. I think that's a good one. Now, what you do and what you don't do. Left and right hand side there. And under the don't do's, you could even put stuff like, I've done my homework, but I'm still not totally sure why this issue, whatever it is so important to you. Because when you get there with its CV, and you will, that's one of the things they'll want to talk to you about, and you want to learn about that as well. Now, unless you're Ruby Wax or another type of New Yorker, you won't be good at blowing your own trumpet. So get somebody else to do it. Yeah? Get really impressive names and something said about you. And that's what goes on the bottom of those quotes. Don't take our word for it. Okay? It's that simple. A couple more things, and then you can massacre it. Does it deliver? Well, first of all, you pitch for unadvertised jobs. I'm going to do a video on this as well, but what you do here is, this is an A4 document. You get like an A5 compliment slips. It doesn't cover this document up. You pin it on it. You get someone who's impressive or knows or is well known, and then you send it to perhaps 3 or 4 chief executives of companies that you want to work for. And it would say something like, I don't know whether you're looking for a, whatever it is at the moment, but if you just want to see some talent, I strongly suggest you see this person who I know is available. Office Junior won't have a clue what to do with it, and it'll do that. And I keep banging on about this. It does make you stand out for the right reasons. And just before you start to do your version of it, just want you to put yourself in the minds of the recipient. So when this recipient is looking at your CV, I want them to be thinking this. Wow, you should have a look at this one. Oh, I think I'll take this one for lunch on Friday. Now, I've used a lot of humour here, and I was going to carry on. I will do a video on this as well. But this is much more important than just the CV. Humour is a brilliant marketing tool. But this is why people don't use it. I want you to imagine you've got 2 identically appropriate candidates. Yeah, this one, all the right employment history, all the right qualifications, sent the CV in, obeyed the rules and everything. This one, exactly the same, right employment history and everything, but looks a bit fun and is obviously going to fit in. Who are you going to go for? Does humour rule you out? Of course it doesn't. Quite the reverse. So here's an important thing. Clients won't like it if humour's involved in something else in the business. Another pal stroke client was the chief executive of a huge division, the UK division of a massive international American-owned company. Very correct guy, very good chief exec. And he had this edict, which was Friday was going to be dress down day. Not at all happy, but it did it. His personal commitment to dress down day was to loosen a button on his waistcoat. And then, because they had a lot of Americans over at the time, they started introducing themed dress down days, which is a posh name for a fancy dress party. And it was a hoot. When do you think the clients wanted to come in and see them? Because he said, I don't want any clients in the business on Friday while you're all farting about. Yeah, they all wanted to go in on a Friday, didn't they? Obviously, want to join in the fun. Now, what's the important message here? Humour is a deadly marketing weapon. I've used it now to massive success, especially in 8 occasions with companies that were just ho-hum companies. and it transformed them. It transformed the performance that they were getting. You've got to be brave, but hey, try it. Don't take my word for it. Pilot it. And talking of humour, this is me gigging, which I used to do loads. I'm not sure, but I think this particular one was a breakfast gig, obviously. It was 4 directors, and I think the title was What Could Machiavelli Teach the Thrusting, Vigorous 21st Century Leader? And then the subtitle was A Cruelty Light Version. And this was some of the feedback. Now, I'm not doing that many gigs now. What I am doing is lots of one-on-ones, video conferencing. So talk to me. Email me at that number, and we'll set up a Skype or a FaceTime conversation. And if nothing else, you'll be able to tell me how well the CV burnt. Have a cracking day. Bye-bye.